Greetings, everybody. I decided to change it up this week with a inflation vlog. So you all probably saw the inflation report on Tuesday. Today's actually Wednesday, 14th of September. And I decided to unpack this report because I actually think the market got it wrong this time. That's the closest thing to a forecast that'll come out of my mouth. So we're going to dissect and unpack this inflation report. The market took it as a negative. Inflation came in a little higher than expectation. We are going to dissect it and try to make sense of what that means for the future path of interest rates. So let's get into it. So this is a snapshot of the report, and what I want to cover is two things, really. One, there's the year-over-year number. So what that means is tracking inflation from August 2021 through August 2022. So a full year, a full 12-month period. Prices across the board were up about 8.3% over the past year. Okay. This report was unfavorable based on investors' interpretation because in July, inflation was flat. The market cheered that. So that was a positive trend. In this report for the month of August, inflation was modestly higher. Okay. So this bucked the trend of potentially receding inflation, which would make the Fed's job much easier. This month over month increase basically solidified the Fed continuing with their aggressive hiking path. So now, if you're looking at the Fed futures or the highest probability outcome, it's for a 75 basis point increase or 0.75% increase in the next Fed meeting. Some are even saying they could raise by a full 1%. Prior to this inflation report, there was greater than a 50% chance of just a 0.5% hike. So pre-report, the Fed was going to hike roughly 0.5%. Post-report, much more aggressive, 0.75 to 1%. And the main drivers of inflation in this report were food, shelter or rent, and medical costs. Okay, so you can see the month-over-month change in August for these three metrics. And I know there's some higher numbers on here, but know that food, shelter, and medical costs are a very big weighting in the CPI basket. Looking at some other macro trends. So this is reading between the lines a bit. And keep in mind, inflation is a lagging indicator, right? So although gas prices are down, although commodities are down, although the cost to ship goods across the globe, that's the Baltic index here, is down, shipping rates are down. So this basically shows the supply chain is easing. It's cheaper to ship goods and services, goods across the globe. Warehouses are less stressed. Transportation supply chains are less stressed. That's showing up in these numbers. It might take a few months to show up in the CPI. So if you're looking at this through an objective lens, these trends are all positive if you want to see a normalization in inflation. Okay, same story with the ISM tracking the time it takes to deliver goods. That's all come down over the past 6 months. I shared this commodities graph with our clients a week or so ago. So commodities and CPI closely track each other over time. And across the board over the last couple months, we've seen commodities from oil to wheat really fall in price. That will eventually show up in CPI, and it's starting to, but right now there seems to be a gap, a convergence where CPI is still elevated despite the fact that commodities prices have gone down. And of course, we're all seeing this at the pump. Gas prices have gone down a bit over the past couple months. This is the UN Food Index. This is a positive sign. Again, energy, food, and rent are huge inputs in the CPI. This hopefully will eventually show up in the CPI numbers and could potentially cause the Fed to pump the brakes a little bit and get less aggressive on the hiking path. A couple other components here. So used vehicle prices have gone down. You can see this astronomical spike during COVID. And then also rents, the median asking rents year over year really spiked higher. This is still working its way through the system, this decrease in prices. Hopefully this shows up in future CPI reports. Again, that would make the Fed's job much easier. Okay, so now we're going to get into some more nuance, and this might get a little messy. I'll try to go slow, but basically what this is looking in the rearview mirror at CPI, year over year CPI over the past year, right? And where the Fed funds rate was given the CPI's increase over the past year. Okay, and you can just see how far behind the Fed was. They didn't actually start hiking rates until CPI inflation was out of control, essentially, which is partially why we're in the conundrum that we're currently in. So let's just look at an example. So this January 2022 number basically states that over the past 12 months, from January 2021 to January 2022, CPI increased 7.48%. Okay. And you can see where the Fed funds rate is here, still stubbornly low, despite CPI increasing by 7.48%. Okay. Some people say that this was the peak. In June of 2022, inflation peaked. You can see the Fed is still behind the curve, but they're getting the memo and they're starting to increase rates. Okay. Now, this is going to get a little messy. So what we're trying to do now is project where CPI is going to be in the future based on month over month increases. So we just saw that July had a 0% month over month increase. The market really liked that. August printed a 0.1% month over month increase. And what we're doing is trying to project where inflation will be in the future based on a series of these modest month over month increases. Now, if inflation gets a little more aggressive or stays high month over month, you can see inflation is going to be sticky on the high side. If we get more reports like July and August, inflation is going to normalize. Okay. And if we get reports like we did in July and August, inflation should reach the Fed's 2% target by May of 2023, which is why I think that the market was really out of line with yesterday's sell-off, because if we get more of these modest month over month increases, you can see the future glide path for year over year inflation really starts to normalize in early 2023. And the reason for that is those big CPI increases, those big CPI prints from 2021 start to fall off, right? So no longer are we getting the large monthly jumps. Those large year over year increases start to fall off, and we start to see inflation flatline. Okay. And if that's the case, then again, inflation is going to normalize towards the Fed's 2% target. And actually, this is roughly what the Fed's future interest rate path would be. So right now, the Fed funds rate is around 2.25 to 2.5%. And basically what this is saying, if we get these modest increases, the Fed is going to increase rates roughly by 1% to 1.5% between now and next spring. Okay. So that's important. I think this is important for what the Fed futures market is pricing in. This is probably not going to happen, but we can kind of bookend our expectations and start to assign a potential range of outcomes, right? So you see talking heads talk about inflation, talk about interest rates. I think this is a much more constructive framework for setting expectations. Okay, and this is just a graphical depiction of what I just showed. So don't pay attention to the rest of these lines. I'm going to focus on what happened yesterday. And what happened yesterday, you can see this year over year estimation for CPI or inflation based on yesterday's report. So if we continue to get those modest increases of between 0 and 0.1% in month over month inflation, then this is the future glide path for inflation as we move into the spring. Okay, it's this light gray line, which I tried to highlight and I kind of missed it. But if we get modest month over month increases, this is the future glide path for year over year inflation. And you can see it starts to normalize aggressively at the start of 2023. Okay. Conversely, this is the projected Fed funds rate path given modest month over month inflation. And it kind of flatlines. It's between just under 4%. So between 3.5% and 4% is kind of the baseline. So that's the key takeaway. Small to modest month over month increases equal a normalization of inflation over time. It just takes time for those elevated readings from previous months, early 2022, middle of 2021, to fall off. Okay. And then kind of reading between the lines, we like to track Google searches, what people are looking at. And you can see searches for inflation really spiked in the spring of 2022. They've fallen off a cliff. So people are still talking about inflation, but the general population is not that interested in inflation anymore. It's starting to normalize. So that's basically it. I think the market might have misstepped a bit. Sure, the latest reading, the bucking of the trend of inflation potentially going down was disrupted. It was a modest miss. Inflation is a lagging indicator. It takes time for these things to work their way through the system and show up in the actual CPI numbers. If we continue to get a modest month over month increase between 0 and 0.1%, inflation is going to normalize towards the Fed target. It's just going to take time for those big numbers to fall off. And look, the other side of this, if we get a trend of normalizing inflation, which it looks like we potentially could, things are going to reverse just as quickly as they've gotten worse, right? If the Fed pauses their hiking cycle, it wouldn't surprise me if markets snap back and race higher. It happened in the 1980s, and it could potentially happen now. It's really hard to predict these inflection points. But again, we'd rather take our cues from the market and build out a framework for understanding the range of potential outcomes using what the market is telling us rather than talking heads. So I hope this helped you make sense of a confusing report. Inflation is very nuanced. It's not black or white. Just because inflation is running hot today doesn't mean it's going to be the same at this time next year. So feel free to reach out with any feedback, questions, or comments at insight@pureportfolios.com. Thanks for tuning in.